Y'all, it's Lil Kelpy, aka Kelpy da P. Matter of fact, call me whatever you want, just don't call me broke. Now today I got a story time for y'all because I know y'all love them story times. Y'all was giving me hella requests after I did the most recent one. But before I get into this video, I want y'all to go check out at Snapstar Clothing on Instagram. That's my brand. You know what I'm saying? Peep the page if you messing with any of the drip, cop something. You know what I'm saying? Show some love, support, all that. Let's get into the story time. So this story is about my first felony charge and really my first case, and it happened when I was 15 years old. Okay, so basically I just started high school. This was early in the year, my freshman year of high school, and I had this one homie named Jaden, and he was like my best homie, you feel me? Like we would pretty much do everything together. Like we was like each other's wingman. Like we would just kick it and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying? Just hustle, get money, fuck around with bitches, all that type of shit. So basically there was this one girl that I was real interested in, this badass little female. Okay, and me and my homie was both interested in her, but you know what I'm saying, she was feeling me because I'm me. You know what I'm saying? So I end up going to the mall with this girl, and my homie Jaden came with me. We brought some other bitches with us, you know what I'm saying? We was just, you know what I'm saying, doing our thing. I got with this girl or whatever, and that was like my first, you know, experience with a girl in high school, because like I said, this was real early into my high school year, my freshman year, and I just moved to this area, so I didn't really know too many people, you know what I'm saying? But I knew her, I knew my homie, like we was cool. I had a small little circle, but I was the type of person in high school that kind of got along with everybody. I could vibe with like the nerds, but I could also vibe with like the gangsters and the druggies, cause you know what I'm saying, I get along with everybody, but basically almost everybody. Basically though, you know what I'm saying, this female I was fucking with, my homie had told me, and I was just hearing rumors that like her ex or her like boyfriend, I don't know what their situation was starting to like call me out and shit like that. It was like more of a rumor at this point, but he was like making threats, and he had some cousins and his brother with gang ties, and they was threatening to basically like, you know what I'm saying, stomp me out, jump me, you know, a bunch of them, pull up on me with guns and knives and all this shit. I didn't really know what to think. I never really had beef with somebody like that, like a whole group of people. But yeah, that was my first experience with it. So fast forward to like a week or two later, you know what I'm saying, there's a football game coming up. I'm trying to go out with this girl to the football game, you know what I'm saying? My homie's down, and we get this threat from one of this dude, her ex's like brothers, I think. And he's like, yo, if y'all pull up to that football game together, you know, everybody you with gets stomped out. We gonna bring knives, we gonna bring guns, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get down with y'all. You know, it's not gonna be a fair one. Y'all are gonna get packed out. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm telling my homie about this. I mentioned it to my dad that someone was threatening me. I didn't get into specifics, but my dad was just kind of like, you know what? You know, you can go to the game, you know, just be careful, you know, hold your own type shit. And my homie was like, yeah, nah, bro, like, that's not really gonna happen. Like, I'm not tripping too much. And I was kind of feeling the same way. So day of the game, my homie comes over to my parents' house, and we all just, you know what I'm saying, me and him, we just chilling, smoking, playing Call of Duty, whatever, having snacks. And I'm getting paranoid because I'm like smoked as fuck right now, like super faded. So I'm like, yo, bro, I'm kind of getting anxious about this game. Like, those motherfuckers, you really think they gonna jump us or something like that? And so I'm telling him, we go into my dad's room because we were just kind of like looking for some type of way to, you know what I'm saying, protect ourselves, look for some drip, whatever, in my dad's room of all places. But we see the safes, we see some straps, we see some pepper sprays and shit like that. And then we open the clothes drawer. It was my mom's like drawer, and we find like a set of matching throwing knives. There were some big ass throwing knives too. So I look at my homie, he looks at me, and we're like, yeah, bro, if they really gonna try us with like knives and guns and shit like that, I mean, we wasn't thinking guns was serious, but if they gonna jump us or pull up with you know what I'm saying, some knives, we gotta come, you know, equal fight, right? So we just, you know what I'm saying, we take the knives, put the knives in our socks, then we tell my dad, like, yo, dad, we ready to go to the game. So my dad drives us to the game. I'm still smoking, you know what I'm saying, chiefing on the pen. And my homie's like, yeah, we gonna be straight as long as we get through security. There was no like metal detectors or nothing at the entrance to the football game, so we got in no problem. But as soon as we get there, we link up with, you know, some other homegirls. I link up with my girl at the time. And yeah, we're with this random ass bitch who, she was like drinking. So she opens a beer right as we walking past a teacher or supervisor, and this bitch pulls us all over the supervisor, and she's like, all right, y'all need to line up against this wall, sit down. I'm gonna stay in here until the cops come over, because the cops like provide security for the games at the school. So they gonna search all of y'all because you have alcohol, it smells like weed, whatever. So we got rolled because of this dumbass bitch. The cops come over, they start searching people, and they're like, right before they search me and my homie, because we're the only two guys there, they're like, if you guys have anything illegal on us, you need to tell us now. This being my first interaction with the police, I'm like, well, shit, they're telling me I'm gonna get in less trouble if I just admit it, so I'm gonna come clean. I tell them, I'm like, yeah, I got a knife. Like, I was, you know what I'm saying, I was getting threatened. I have a knife in my sock. And my homie was like, yeah, we got knives. Like, you know what I'm saying, we admitted to it before they searched us. So they immediately come over and cuff us and like take us away from the rest of the group. I think they let the rest of the group go, but they walk us up to the office, like the principal's office. And it's a school resource officer, a couple other cops, right? And then the vice principal or assistant principal or whatever, he's there, and he's actually an ex-cop. And so they sit me and my homie in the office on separate sides of the room so that we can't talk to each other. And basically they just kind of like, you know, discussing amongst themselves what to do. So they end up calling my homie's parents and my parents. And while my parents are on the way to get us and his parents are on the way to get him, you know what I'm saying, I hear them talking, the assistant principal talking with the resource officer, like, yo, you better measure that knife. Like, it's big. You know, it's over the legal limit for length. It's a felony. And so I hear all this just, you know what I'm saying, just kind of like picking up on their conversation. I start freaking out at this point. And I couldn't tell my homie because we couldn't talk to each other in there. But basically when our parents get there, they're like, all right, your kids are suspended for a week. You know, me and him both. You can go to alternative to suspension school and, you know, go home. So we thought that was it. We thought we was straight. Fast forward to about 4 months later, me and my homie Jaden both get notices to appear in court in the mail. We just got them in the mail, both of us, like around the same days. And so we talking to each other like, shit, bro, we really caught a case from this shit. Like, and we had known my other homies got, you know, they had blades at school and weapons at school, brass knuckles and all that. They ain't getting nothing but suspension, but we got like, they're charging us with a felony because they said that we had, you know what I'm saying, knives over the legal length limit on government property because the school is government property, I guess, even though it was like at a football game on the field. I don't know. Basically, first day at court, we meet our lawyers and everything like that, public defenders or whatever. Me and my homie got our white button-ups on. We just kind of like talking to each other, like we caught a case, like feeling kind of cool, but also like a lot of adrenaline is making us feel cool, but inside we real nervous. Like we tripping out because we found out that you could actually get juvie time from this. So we kind of just freaking out a little bit, but we try and play it cool. And it turns out that day they rescheduled court. And then we come back like 2 weeks later, they reschedule it again. And on our third time, we actually get to see the judge. So since we co-defendants, we go in together and we face the judge. And basically the judge is like, all right, like, you know, I'm going to get your stories separately. I want to, you know, speak to each one of you individually so I can see if your stories match up. Basically, they bring me in first and they're like, all right, so what happened? I tell them like, I'm going to plead guilty because my attorney had told me to plead guilty. But I just had a knife on the government property. I'm not denying that, but I was feeling threatened. That's why I brought it. Since it was me and my homie's first case, they let me off easy. They let him, you know what I'm saying, go into the room and tell his story too. But they was trying to get him to flip on me because they was trying to say since the knives belonged to my dad, they was asking my homie, like, did he kind of, me being he, did he pressure you into like bringing this knife? Like, did he, you know what I'm saying, intimidate you and make you feel like you had to do that? Because if so, we gonna give you all different punishments. And so my homie kept it solid. He was like, nah, bro, like that was my choice. I felt threatened just as much as he felt threatened. We both bought the knives on our own accord, basically. Like we didn't influence each other like that. So he kept it solid, you know what I'm saying? He didn't snitch on me to get a lesser sentence or none of that. And then so they bring us back in together like, all right, both of y'all pleaded guilty. Our attorneys are doing most of the talking for us, but they're like, so you guys pleaded guilty. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you guys juvie time or anything since it's your first offense, but I am going to try and make a little bit of an example out of y'all. So he gave us both 70 hours of community service. Okay, that was 70 hours for each of us to serve. And then he gave us a year each of informal probation with mandatory drug testing. So, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. So we was kind of like chilling. Like as soon as we walked out the courtroom, we were dabbing each other up like, hey, bro, we not getting locked up today. Like we chilling. You know what I'm saying? We were saying we beat the case, which in reality, we didn't beat the case because we got sentenced and found guilty. But, you know what I'm saying? We was happy we wasn't getting locked up. So we go to school the next day. Everyone's like talking about it and shit like, yo, I heard y'all had to go to court, this and that. And we kind of just like, you know what I'm saying? We getting bitches. We getting popular off a court date, you know what I'm saying? But that's freshman year of high school for you, you know? People think that shit is hard. People think that shit is gangster or whatever. In reality, though, it just kind of taught me a lesson, like, don't do dumb shit like that and get caught doing it and then not learn from your mistakes. Because with my homie Jaden, he kind of used that as like, this is my one, you know what I'm saying, interaction with law enforcement. I'm done with this. As soon as he got off probation, he turned his life around. Me, I kind of just, you know what I'm saying, got stuck in this system essentially. I kept getting in trouble, having run-ins with the law, you know what I'm saying, doing shit I probably shouldn't have been doing. But it also taught me a lot about like a real person versus a fake person. You know what I'm saying? Those people that were threatening us, you know what I'm saying, my girl's ex at the time or whatever that were threatening us, turns out they didn't even go to the football game. Okay, so they obviously wasn't going to jump us. So we basically caught that case for nothing. But at the same time, showed me a lot about, you know, real people. Being my homie Jaden, he kept it solid. He had the opportunity to tell on me and blame me for the whole thing when I wasn't in the room and get a lesser charge. But he was like, nah, he owned up to his shit like a man. And you know what I'm saying? He didn't snitch on me. So he's still my homie to this day. Matter of fact, I was just talking on the phone with him a little bit ago, right before I made this video. But I thought y'all would enjoy this story time because it's about my first case, my first real interaction with law enforcement, definitely my first felony. But it's cool because since we were minors when it happened, as soon as both of us turned 18, because we was 15 when we caught the case, as soon as we turned 18, it got like expunged and erased from our record. So as an adult, I don't got no felonies on my record. You know what I'm saying? Planning on keeping it that way. Same with my homie Jaden. But I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you